A Maine-Endwell alumni and barbershop owner is partnering with the school to bring a new set of skills to students. An idea that started as an internship at Studio 11 turned into creating a mock barbershop at the school. One student told 12 News that even though we won't be going straight into barbering, they appreciate the opportunity to take the skills taught into the working world. The Maine-Endwell barbering program shares the sentiment, saying the opportunity is one of the best decisions the school could have made.
The importance of understanding that higher education isn't the only way to be successful in today's world. There's a lot of opportunities outside of just school. Some kids learn great in the books, and other kids work better with their hands.
The school hopes to eventually expand the class every year to host more than 4 students. When the certifications come in, students will offer free haircuts on Sundays for the community, and at the end of the year, the 4 junior barbers will take the test to become master barbers.